All right, so let's look at class activity 2T. Now, I hope that you have had a chance to take a look at these and try to solve them using the drawing and the percent table, but also to solve them using the percent thermometer. If you haven't had the chance to do that, please pause this video and do that before you come back. So the way I'm going to look at it is using specifically and exclusively the percent thermometer so that you can have practice looking at this method of solving percent problems. So let's see. Lenny has received 6 boxes of paper, which is 30% of the packet he ordered. How many boxes of paper did Lenny order? And then it tells us to make a drawing. So if we are looking at the percent thermometer, we have a percent on one side, but how else are we measuring the amount? And that is the number of boxes. So Lenny has received 6 boxes of paper, which is 30% of the paper. So actually it's giving us this equivalence, that 6 boxes of paper is 30%, and it's asking us to find 100%. So let's see, this is what we want to find. So let's see how we can do that. If 30% is 6 boxes, I think we can safely find 10%. That's 2 boxes. Right, and if 10% is 2 boxes, then 100% is 20 boxes. So he ordered 20 boxes. Okay, now that's pretty easy using the percent thermometer. I think it's just one extra step. Now, if we were going through any of the other strategies, the drawing or the percent table, it'd also be pretty straightforward. But what we do want to stay away from is the writing out the equation of is equals of or whatever the mnemonic was that you learned, so that we can ask kids to make more and more sense of these percent problems and really understand them so that they can better explain, better estimate, and generally develop a better understanding. So let's go through 2 through 4. So Ms. Jones paid $2.10 in tax on an item she purchased. The tax was 7% of the item. What price was the item, not including tax? And we're going to use the percent thermometer again to solve this one. So this was percent and dollars. And she paid $2.10 on 7% tax. And what we want to know is how much is 100%. All right, so let's see what we can do with this one. 7% is $2.10. Well, we could find 70% is $21. That's still not very helpful because we need another 30% to get to 100. But could we find 1%? Well, if 7% is $2.10, then 1% is 30 cents. So from 1% being 30 cents, couldn't we figure out 100%? So if we take this 100 times, we should get $30. Again, not too complicated in terms of arithmetic, and certainly much more clear as you're looking at the percent thermometer than having to rely on the procedure of finding the equation. The equations will come, but later, when we're generalizing. In Green Valley, the average daily rainfall is typically 5/8 of an inch. Last year, the average rainfall was only 3/8 of an inch. What percent of the typical average daily rainfall fell last year? Solve the problem with the 8 of, okay. So the question is, what percent of the typical average rainfall? So that seems to be our whole. So let's see. Percent and inches. So we have the Green Valley. Rainfall is 5/8 of an inch. Last year, it was only 3/8. So 5/8 of an inch is our typical, is our average daily rainfall. Now, and we are told that 3/8 is what fell last year, so we want to find out what percent that was. So let's see if we can figure this out. Well, 5/8 is 100%. Is there any way we could figure out 1/8? Remember, this is 5/1/8, and we want to know 1/1/8. So that would be 20%. It'd be a fifth. Well, if 1/1/8 is 20%, how many percent is 3/1/8? And that would be 60. So 60% fell of typical average daily rainfall fell last year. Okay. Now let's look at question 4. If a third of a cup serving of cheese provides your full daily value of calcium, then what percentage of your daily value of calcium is provided by 3/4 cup of cheese? So if you have your daily value of calcium, that seems like that's our whole, because that's what we're comparing everything to. So let's draw our percent thermometer. So we have percent of daily value of calcium, and we have cups of cheese. So we have third cup of cheese provides your full daily value. So a third cup of cheese provides you with a full daily value, 100%. How much of what percent is provided by 3/4 of a cup of cheese? 3/4. Oh, I guess that would be way up there. And I drew my 1/3 too close to the top. Now notice that for all of these diagrams, all the way from the very beginning, I've never closed my percent thermometer off. So look here. It's left open, it's left open, open, open. I never want to imply that that percent thermometer stops at some point, let alone stops at 100%, because we can always have a situation where whatever we're looking at is only part of the whole picture, and we need to go above 100. Notice again, not closed, not closed, not closed. So here, what I've done is I've actually just drew it a little too high. So let's see if I can redraw it now. So a third of a cup is actually 100%. And I want to know 3/4 of a cup, whatever that is, wherever that is. I might be off here. All right. So let's see if we can figure that out. So a third of a cup is 100%. Well, we can figure out that 2/3 of a cup is 200%. But then what's that? That's really interesting, because we're trying to compare between thirds and quarters. So I wonder if there's a different way to cut that value, that cup, so that thirds and quarters would be easier to compare. And it seems to me that when we did that, we used 12, because 1/12 of 1/3 of 12 was 4, and 1/4 of 12 was 3. So we knew that if we could separate things into 12ths, then we would have a much easier time. So 1/3. Okay, so we can find what a 12th is. It's a quarter of 100, so that's 25, right? So then it makes sense that if we keep going up by 12ths of a cup, we would get to 200 at 2/3. Now, how many more 12ths do we need to get to 3/4? Well, if each of the quarters is 3/12, then 3/4 is actually 9/12. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's only one extra 1/12 that needs to go in here. So it's actually 225%. So it's 225% of daily value of calcium in 3/4 cups of cheese. Now, is that more than the daily value that you should be eating? Yes, it's actually more than twice. But that's fine, because we were able to extend our thermometer to go well above 100%, we were able to solve that problem.